Hey guys, thanks for heading back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. I hope everyone is staying healthy and I hope this video will bring a bit of positivity to your day. Today I'm going to be setting up my August plan with me and my bullet journal, and honestly it was a bit of a struggle coming up with a theme this month. Anyway, while trying to come up with a theme, I ended up looking at those obscure national holidays you never really hear about, like National Donut Day, National Zipper Day. So I found that in August 5th, I want to say, there's a National Underwear Day, and I learned people have parades, go to burlesque shows, or just simply buy a pair of underwear because, I guess why not? So yeah, I thought it would be neat to do a bullet journal theme for underwear, skivvies, pantaloons, underoos. I just call them draws. So yeah, grab some supplies, plan along with me, grab a snack, and yeah, let's get to it.
So to start this off, I'm going to make a super quick circle on my Cricut machine. I'm doing this just because I'm going to be doing some watercoloring and I don't want to warp the pages of my journal since the pages aren't super thick. I have my circle and a cut piece of palette paper, and I'm just going to set a watery base with the Tombow markers. I'm basically scribbling on the palette paper and then picking up that color with the brush and sort of just randomly placing it on the paper. This doesn't look like anything special at first, but it's just a base and these colors will eventually show through once I go over it all with the metallic watercolor and it dries. As always, I'll link as many supplies as I can down in the description box if you're interested. But I'm pretty pleased how this turned out, and it's super shiny and yeah, cool beans. I'm just going to add that onto the cover page right in the middle after it dries and start working on the quote page. The quote this month is "Beautiful begins underneath." And I thought that was of course fitting for the whole underwear theme, but also something in a deeper sense that would be a positive message to look to. So before I get to the lettering, I'm doing a very fancy looking bra or bustier. This is actually really simple to do and looks more complicated than it is. For the detail, I'm just holding my fine liner super loose and a little higher up than I normally would, and just loosely doing this like little figure eight and scribbles, which end up looking a little more like a complex texture. I'm also coloring this in, not fully, just little sections to give the impression of color. For the lettering, since I wanted a bit more of control, I'm using the nib side of the Tombow to write out the lettering and just went back and thickened it up on the downstrokes to give that brush letter look. I have a recent video talking a bit more about how to go about doing this if you want to check it out. I'll be sure to leave it up in the cards if you want to give it a try. To finish off the quote page, I'm just going to give it a simple but delicate looking border. Since we're all dry on the cover page, I'm going to go ahead and knock out the August lettering over there using the same techniques as the quote page. Around that, I'm just going to be doing different doodles of underwear, bras, and boxers, and keeping them pretty simple and geometric for the most part. I did pull a few reference images just because it was like surprisingly hard to think up all the different styles and cuts of underwear and then have them sort of fit together in a cohesive theme. For the colors, I'm keeping it pretty minimal. I've always thought of August as sort of that transition from like the hot, super hot summer into the hope of cooler fall weather, whether or not it actually becomes cooler. So the color palette sort of has that vibe, like still summery with the pinks and yellows, but also inching towards those more like muted olives and golds. To add a bit of something in the background and another motif to the overall theme, I'm going in with this sort of curved exclamation point. No story here, I just thought it'd be a cute accent to add throughout, and that'll do it for the cover and quote page. Moving along to the monthly spread, I'm back to a basic grid calendar similar to my June setup. I'm using a bit of that same technique in not fully coloring in the shape to tie it in with the bustier illustration on the quote page. I'm surrounding the calendar with more underwear pieces using different patterns and colors from the theme to tie it all together. All of these doodles are super simple shapes, so I think this one would be super fun and easy to recreate in your own colors or styles. If you do happen to recreate any of these spreads, please tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see it and share it in a future video. The quote along the bottom is "Let's dance in our underwear," because, I mean, like, why not? Sounds like a good old time. I'm finishing off this spread with that same accent motif, and yeah, I think this turned out pretty cute. Oh, one last thing, I have a few housekeeping things that I like to add at the end of each week, like sweeping, wiping down surfaces, and washing my dog Zora. Putting them here has been pretty helpful since I come back to this page to reference what all appointments and tasks that need to go in each weekly. Heading on over to my mood and habit tracker page, I'm going to be doodling 31 little underwears and filling those in throughout the month based on my mood. The habit tracker is also back this month, but with less habits to track. I found that even though I was burnt out on the tracker last month, I still found myself completing those tasks and felt kind of empty inside knowing that I couldn't color in the box. That satisfaction is something else. I also forgot to print out my mini calendar stickers for the habit trackers while initially doing the spread, so I'll add those in after this initial setup. To replace the usual box a day spread, I'm going to be trying out a meal log, which is set up exactly like my usual box a day spread, but here I'll be writing in what we have for dinner each night. I thought it would be pretty helpful so we don't get bored with the same meals while in quarantine, and so I can just gauge how much we order takeout. I honestly don't think we order that much out, but I really don't know because I don't keep track of it, so we shall see. But pretty quick and easy setup here. This next spread is a new one and was suggested in a Black and Bujo post when discussing privacy and bullet journals, so I'm just calling this the privacy note spread. It's set up similarly to a brain dump spread, but I'll just be writing some more sensitive information in here as it relates to like finances and client information. I thought it would be fun to do a fancy lingerie teddy doodle on the spread, as well as a little keyhole in the corner. I thought this was a fantastic idea because when I'm sharing a flip through or just sharing my journal in general, I can washi tape these pages together for privacy, but still access them if I need to refer to any information in here. The final spread in this setup is the weekly spread, and I'm going back to the rolling weekly for this one. So on the left side, I'll have any events, appointments, and tasks that need to be completed on a certain day. And then on the right side will be any other rolling tasks that should be completed just throughout the week. I'm also adding in a small general notes section under the task list there. I've recently gotten a few requests to see more weekly spreads, so I've decided to do those on a weekly Twitch stream on Saturdays or Sundays depending. So if you'd like to hang out and chit chat and see some of these things come together, I'll leave a link to my new Twitch channel down in the description for you. Now is the most daunting task of the rolling weekly grid. It's not necessary to do this in most journals, but since my dot grid spacing is a little tight compared to other journals, I like to do this just so I can see what day I'm checking things off a bit clearer. I know I have quite a few qualms about this particular journal, but there are some things I really like about it. If you'd like me to talk a bit more about this journal in a more full review type of video, definitely let me know down in the comments and I'll make it happen. But I think that'll do it for this spread and this setup. As we get into the final flip through, I do want to say thank you so much for watching, and I invite you to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel to see what happens next around these parts. I'm pretty pleased with how quirky but delicate this theme turned out, and I'm pretty excited to see how it can be sort of remixed and remastered throughout the month. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. And if you like this video, here are a couple more I think you would enjoy.